Kyrie Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem. Kyrie Jesu Domine.
Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Saturday and the octave of Easter. This is the afternoon edition of Hey Padre podcast. Thanks for watching. Here's a question that comes to mind. How good are you or I regarding humility? Because here's one of the things that I think a humble person ought to know, and many do not seem to, is that there's a lot more things I don't know about life or about things than I do know. You would think that would be a self-evident reality, but it's not. Here's one of the worst things to be in life, and it's one of the worst things to encounter. It's one person, male or female, old or young, who is exceptionally good at one thing and thinks they are good at everything, or thinks they're very bright in one area and therefore they must be intelligent in every other area. Not likely. I mean, it really is unfortunate. And those are the people we find at times insufferable. They are truly gifted in their one area. They are talented. They are intelligent. They are informed. And then in some area outside of that, they are dumb, stupid, but you don't know that because they're so convinced of their intelligence that they just double down on their ignorance. And we'd be better off acknowledging, I really don't know a lot about that. Or why do you think that? I don't really understand the topic. And I was just listening to some interviews this morning of people who have opinions about everything and have read nothing about the subject matter of which they are authorities. And again, it don't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are, other than if you're a kid. Usually don't. But boy, people right out of college, sometimes they can be insufferable. And it never changes. And it's that way as old people. So it's just something that kind of came to mind this morning. Pardon me. Got a mustache hair on my... Sorry about that. I think it's still floating around my mouth. That's terrible. My apologies. But we want to be humble about things. The Sanhedrins arrested in the Acts of the Apostles this morning, Peter and John, and dismissed them as men of no education. They're peons. Well, they're not peons. They are simple men. But they've had the most profound education of their life in Jesus Christ. And they would go on to proclaim Christ to the world. And see their little church. They could imagine how it would grow and change things in reality. But the invitation really is to examine ourselves, maybe be more humble and curious about life and less authoritative. Nobody is a walking Google, but some people think they are. And those are probably our least favorite people in life. But if you do know something, don't be ashamed to share it. Say, well, here's what I've learned, and here's where I got it from. Name your sources and stuff. But don't presume just because you've got letters behind your name that makes you a genius in every area in life. Might, but more than likely it doesn't. It doesn't. In fact, it's a depth of reflection and asking questions and perhaps coming from a posture of humility and professed ignorance that makes us better learners, rather than believing that we know everything and we're content and we're already authorities on it. So that's your Saturday afternoon thought. Today's music soundtrack is like protest rock. Those of you who are my age, in your 50s or a little older or younger, remember Freedom Rock on Channel 11 and Channel 30. that they used to advertise back in the 90s. I don't think they did it in the 80s, but it was all hits from the 70s, the 60s and 70s, the protest rock and things like that, which are fun songs. But, it's all good. Oh, there's the crickets, folks. Have a great day. Be humble. Ask questions. Let's all try not to be so convinced we're authorities on everything, but not be afraid to share what we do know humbly.